thinking about hiring a copywriter to help you in your business, maybe with writing sales pages, maybe with blog content, etc. Well, we are going to cover exactly how you pick not just a great copywriter, but one who's also the best fit for your business in this video today. Stay tuned. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Emma Gibbons. I am a brand messaging strategist, content marketer, and copywriting coach for entrepreneurs. So if those topics plus our bonus topic of mental health for entrepreneurship, if they sound good to you, then please consider subscribing and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. All right, so you're thinking about hiring some support for your copy. Now, I think it's really important, first off, if you're not clear on the difference between copywriting and content writing or content marketing, be sure to watch this video where we explained it to make sure you know exactly who it is that you need. And we do talk a little bit about outsourcing there. But if you feel super clear on the fact that copywriting is any writing done to sell a product or service, and content writing is any writing with the primary goal of growing an audience and nurturing them, so providing free value at that time, and then later maybe you can sell them. If you know that difference, then you are prepared for this video. For a lot of people, it is definitely the right decision to hire support for their writing. That could be because maybe English isn't your first language, so you just have to spend too much time double checking all the grammar. Maybe it's because you just don't have any time for it, or you have no interest in it. You don't like writing, you don't want to learn how to do copy. That's totally valid. Now, if you are still deciding, then consider coaching as an alternative, especially if you're working with a slightly smaller budget or you really like being the voice and the face behind your business. Coaching may be the better option for you. And if you want to learn more about that, you can always hit the link in the description where it describes how my writing coaching offer works. Now, if you're sure you want to outsource your copywriting, then more power to you. And what you really want, the aims of that are for it to be effective, so you get results, and also that it's a good experience for both of you, that you like working together. Critically important. So when bringing in a feature writer, that is someone who gets a byline. So let's say that you want to write more blog posts, so you want more content writing. Then you can offer them a byline in exchange for perhaps they have a lower fee because they get credit, or you can offer them a byline because they themselves are really well known, and if they can send people to their work on your website, you'll get more traffic. That can be a really huge benefit. But keep in mind that if you're just looking for a feature writer, if the goal is just that you have more and more blog content, maybe you want to invite guest bloggers who are experts in your niche for your business versus actually hiring a full-on content writer. Because those people, since they're looking for opportunities to get their names out there, may actually be at a better price point for you, could help you build industry relationships, just as long as it's not possibly sending you to direct competition, so your clients to direct competition, then I think guest bloggers could be a really good option. But if you do want it to be ghostwritten, meaning that they kind of pretend that they're you or they're part of your team, there's no specific name given, and if you want to make sure that they're writing what you need them to write about, maybe from an SEO perspective or because you have a really defined niche that needs a lot of research, then that's definitely the right time to go to a proper content writer. Another consideration is whether they're a content writer or a guest blogger, right? If they're getting a byline, if they're getting credit, then they can just write in their own voice. So that takes a lot less effort, and you want to make sure that you like the stuff that they write on a general basis. It's fun to you. It feels like the right tone for your blog, more or less, but you like their voice. If they're ghostwriting, on the other hand, and they're kind of behind the scenes, they're part of your team, or they're supporting you and your voice, it's way less important what their unique voice is like, because they should be finding a way to work within your voice. So I have a process for this within my business, and we actually make sure that we spend half a day together with our ideal clients when they come in, and we actually do this partnership with them, whether it's content or copywriting. We have a process to make sure that the voice that we create and the messaging is super aligned. So all the values that we reference are that founder's values. The choices in their tone of voice, including like, do they talk casually? Are they more formal? Are they kind of sassy? Are they really polite? That is super authentic to them. We have a whole process we use for that. So see if the people you're considering have a process, if they'll be ghostwriting for you. If they don't, you either have to really love their voice and think it sounds totally valid, that it's kind of like you, or maybe you need to look for a different writer. All right, another important reason to be clear on, do you want copy or content or both, is because a lot of writers pick one or the other, and even within, they will pick niches. This is really true within both categories. So let's say content writing, for example. If I were still freelancing, this is back a while ago, but if I were freelancing, what I really focused on was things like culture, was something research driven, was mental health, all that kind of stuff. I was not really into science writing, for example, at the time. So content writers who are especially freelancers, if they're really positioning themselves as an individual content writer, they're probably a freelancer, and they tend to have niches that they will write about, which may work perfectly for your business, and that may actually be a benefit. Because if you, let's say, are in the science writing space and they are super comfortable with the world of science writing, maybe they had a background in university in biology, that could actually be a huge benefit to your business, and maybe they're a really good fit for that. But it means you also have to make sure you find those people who are the right fit, and you avoid people who are not. So that's an example in the world of content writing. Let's say we're going into the world of copywriting. So with copy, the niches that tend to happen are very, very frequently, you'll find people who just write sales pages. I don't understand that because I don't find them that fun, but there are a lot of writers who just write sales pages. Now, there's probably a few reasons for that. They can be very lucrative because think about it. If they write an awesome sales page, you're going to make a ton of money. So lots of people specialize in sales pages. Some specialize in maybe email marketing or email funnels, etc. So make sure that they either do the type of writing you know that you want, or if you want to build a relationship so that they do a couple of different things for you, make sure you find a copywriter who does a variety of copywriting and they're not just a sales page expert. The other reason why people tend to focus specifically on sales pages is because they like a variety of topics and a variety of people. So if you want to have a long-term relationship with this copywriter, you'll want to make sure that they're not kind of that in and out, write an awesome sales page and then leave. Because of a few things. One, again, that relationship. But also, when they're that in and out style of copywriter, it means most of them use their own voice, even though they're technically ghostwriting. A sales page doesn't announce who the writer is. But usually, if they're in and out, a lot of them don't have a process to get to know your brand voice and your unique message. They'll probably ask you questions to understand. Well, they better ask you questions to understand your offer. But they will probably approach it with their voice. You better like it. So keep that in mind if you're going to pick someone who's really niched in copy. Another thing about niches, if you're speaking to someone who says they'll do it all, but they primarily focus on one area, be really thoughtful about that. Maybe they are trained on all areas. Maybe they can do all of them, but if they're only working in one area, perhaps that's the time to ask more for a portfolio to see some examples so that you know that they can do a variety of things, even if all their recent clients have been in just content writing, for example, but you want them to also do copy. Okay, let's go back over to the world of content writers for a second, and actually writers who do both copy and content, but especially like we're talking about content. A lot of content writers, you want to make sure you find this out. A lot of them will only take responsibility for writing the content. So for example, writing a blog post, but they will not do things like SEO research. They may not embed SEO. They may not know how. That happens quite a bit. And they may not track it. And that's totally fine, especially if you have your own SEO team, or they might do one or two of those things. And for example, I always embedded SEO into like best practices of SEO into blog posts. But a lot of the time, what I will still to this day, what we often ask is that they provide us the key phrase, or we work it into their project as kind of an add-on to do some key phrase research for them. And typically we ask them to track it because oftentimes with our clients, we're not in their website because sometimes, for example, if they're corporate, it doesn't make sense for us to be in there. There's a lot of buttons to press. So we have them check They track their own, but we will put the SEO in there, and we know how to do that. We know how to use best practices. A lot of content writers either don't know, not interested in it, or just be aware what they do and what they don't do, right? Important. Okay, so if you're looking to develop a long-term relationship with a broad writer, we exist, but we're quite a rare breed. So you may be able to develop a long-term relationship with a content writer and a long-term relationship with a copywriter, even like assuming that you're not finding someone who's niche, but you're finding someone who does all the copy or all the content. But finding a team or a specialist who does all of it is hugely beneficial, and we'll get into that in a second, but it's actually quite rare. And that is one of the reasons why my business does what we do. We're a boutique where we specialize both in coaching. I coach people, business owners, to be able to do this themselves, but also we have a small number of partners because we do so much writing for them. It has to be a small number, really high quality relationships where we get to know their voices inside and out, their offers inside and out, and we create all of it for them. So you'll want to look really carefully for that because we are a rare breed, like I said. Here are some of the benefits of finding a boutique or a partner, a long-term partner who can do all the writing for you. Consistency in your brand voice. This is especially important if you're getting them to ghostwrite for you. You want to make sure that your ideal clients have a consistent and authentic feeling experience. And it should be authentic because we know their ideal clients at least as well as they do, right? So it is a really authentic experience. We care about them. And that consistency really does come through. It gets picked up on, even if it's a little bit early in the relationship and it's subconscious. 100% we get feedback on it. It makes a huge difference. And the other thing is that, another benefit, saving time because we know their brand voice. If you had to onboard a new copywriter or a new content writer every time you had a new offer coming out or every time you got overwhelmed, etc., it would take you so long. If you've ever onboarded someone, you know it takes a long time to do it right, especially, and to make sure you get the results that you want. So if you have a long-term partner, that's it. You onboard them once, you're good to go for potentially, hopefully, years in the future. A third benefit is that it makes client nurturing really easy. Because we're so deeply involved in your business, we really see what your ideal clients need, what they're asking for, how to speak to them in unique ways that you may not even have had a perspective on, and we're experts in content marketing and copywriting, so we can actually provide strategic plans. That's one of the things that I do in my VIP days, for example. We'll spend half the day working on messaging, and the second half we'll make a content marketing plan for a whole quarter. So that way every blog post we put out, every Instagram caption, etc., is strategic, while also making sure we're doing it in a way that feels aligned to their business from an emotional point of view. So we're creating not just blog posts for the sake of it, but they know that they feel super confident this is the content we're putting out there in the world, plus it's being intentional about bringing in people to their business. There's also an element of having a thorough line. So if we're in charge of their email marketing, among the other things that we do, it gets out every single month or it gets out every week, right? Because we're the experts within their business and we're there long term. So if you're kind of relying on yourself to do email marketing, or you have someone who sets you up for a few months at a time and then you have to revisit it, things happen in that time, right? You may not get them scheduled back in at the time that you need them. There may be a world event, like we have definitely seen in 2020 and 2021, that changes the environment and the atmosphere, and that changes the newsletter content you need. So it's kind of a up to the minute sort of thing. So there's a beautiful line, thorough line that goes through when you work with a partner. Fourth benefit of working with a partner is that you can ensure that SEO best practices are being followed, and you build up a huge catalog, especially if you're working with them on creating blog content. You build up a catalog of really SEO friendly, easily searchable content. And you know that because hopefully you've done your research based on this video, and you know what they're willing to do and what they may not do for SEO. So you know, if you've picked one who's SEO friendly and who knows the best practices, that that's being done from the beginning through the end. You're not hiring someone who's great at SEO one time and someone who's not the next. It's really, really important that you have a consistent SEO strategy. And if you do have, let's say you're a slightly bigger business and you have an SEO expert, or you outsource to an SEO team, then they can work directly with your content marketing or general writing partner or partners. If they're more like a larger boutique like we are, we're a team, they can actually work directly together. So we can create SEO friendly blog posts based on the key phrases that they're giving us. It's a really nice relationship that can take a little bit of the pressure off of you from being that middle person. And 5, the most important benefit of working with a partner is that you get to breathe a sigh of relief, because marketing is happening. Visibility is happening. People are seeing you, they're building up trust with you and your business, and they're coming in on a regular basis. So all you need to do is deliver your amazing service or product and invite them, right? Invite them to buy through sales calls. Let's say you're a product-based business. You're very unlikely to have a sales call. So your copywriting team is even more important, right? They are bringing people to you at that point, right? Now you still want to be involved, of course. Let's say even on Instagram, my team might be writing your Instagram post for you, but you pop into stories with a strategy that we would work on together, but you pop into stories to make sure that you're involved, that people are seeing you, that they know that this is your business. You really are the face and the being behind the business. After all, your voice is what we're using. It's not the way I talk, it's the way I know you talk. And I'm trying to be that bridge between you and your ideal clients when the writing and the organizing doesn't come super easy to you. But what happens is we take care of so much of it that you can basically deliver, especially as a product-based business owner, when you don't have to do sales calls. That's really the only other piece. If you happen to sell high-ticket coaching offers, we can bring you leads through content marketing and a good sales page to book an appointment to talk to you. And then if you know how to sell them, you're good. It's a hugely important benefit to working with a partner. All right, so if you're looking for a copywriting or content marketing partner at this point, then check out the link in our description and see if we currently have space to take on a new partner, because we do work long-term collaboratively with a few clients at a time. We have a few long-term clients, but every once in a while we have a space, either because of vacation or because we've added new team members. So feel free to go check it out. We would love to chat with you and talk more about how we can best support you. And if you're still considering the coaching option, be sure to check out that option too, where you can see how you can learn how to do some of this copy and content writing yourself in a way that's still strategic, and you still have my support the whole time, but will really give you complete ownership over what you're creating for your brand. There's no better option. There are just 2 different ways, so pick whichever one is best for you. All right, I'm going to finish my s'mores chai latte and relax. So if you have any questions before you go, drop them in the comments below and I'll be sure to answer them. Maybe there's something I didn't cover in today's episode. I would be happy to answer your question about it. Please let us know what it is below. And if you like this video, please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button as well, so that you can be part of this community and constantly get more tips on content marketing, content writing, copywriting, and also mental health for entrepreneurs, because, I mean, that's why I need a s'mores chai latte at the end of the day. All right, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you next Thursday. Bye.